Questions and Answers with Sally Baker from Family Connection, South Carolina. What happened when Family Connection of South Carolina trained professionals using the Supporting Your Child's Literacy Development at Home tutorial and facilitator's guide?
I'll talk a little bit about how we did this with professionals. So like I mentioned, this is super great information. You guys are here today as professionals, and we wanted to really hone in, like Sarah was talking about, on that connection from school to home and that engagement piece. And as professionals, sometimes we just forget that we do this every day and not everybody else does. And that's not anyone's fault. It is human nature and just kind of who we are. So we took this training and we developed it in a way that we could talk with professionals about, hey, this is how you can have that conversation with a parent if you have someone that you think maybe is a struggling reader or maybe just needs a little extra oomph at home. So the graphic you see on your screen is actually one of the supplemental resources, again, that comes with the tutorial. And I love this one. It's an activity that I actually do every time in real time with our participants, parents or professionals. But when I do this one with professionals, especially when it's a bunch of classroom teachers, I love watching it happen because they partner up and you guys can read it. One person's the adult, one person's the child, and they practice this back and forth conversation, turning conversations into fit conversations. And they practice this back and forth. And the whole time they're doing it as professionals, there's all this giggling, right? Like, why are we doing this? Like, this is what we do every day. Why would I practice this? And so when they finish, that's exactly what I say is, hey guys, I loved hearing all the giggles. And I know this seems really odd and strange, but some parents don't know how to do this. And this is what we can talk with our families about, or this is what we can practice on those literacy game nights that you have at your school. Or if you have, a tip sheet that goes home with families, this is a great resource that's there and available for you at no cost to put into your packet to send home. So we're really talking about those different pieces of how do you have these conversations and why are these things important, kind of bringing us back to the basics. And so really talking through all of that is kind of what we take, and this also gives professionals and teachers the opportunity to talk to parents about how they can kind of bring their own concerns back to the school and back to the teachers and thinking like, hey, we tried this and like, I'm concerned that he's not picking up or knows what that means. And so having that conversation. Another consideration on the next slide is that this right now is in English, and we have a large bilingual culture here in our state. And this video that's in here that you see the screenshot of right now is one of my favorites. I keep saying that. There's so many things I love about these tutorials. But this video specifically shows a dad who is reading a book with his daughter. He is reading it in Spanish, and so it is subtitled in English, which I love, is because usually we see it the other way around. But he is just having a conversation with her. He's picked up this book and they're reading it. And he's like, oh, why is he crying? Like asking the questions. That's not what the book says. But he's having that back and forth conversation with his daughter. So I love this video because A, it shows natural, real world, what it's like to read with your child. I love that it is in a different language and shows that these building blocks can be built upon no matter what language you are speaking in your home. And I also love that this video is not done at a house. It's not in a cozy, perfect, Pinterest-worthy reading nook. It's like in a clinical setting. He picked up a book that was there in the waiting room and they're just reading and they're enjoying it together. No pressure involved. And I love that.
Thanks for watching this Q&A with Sally Baker from Family Connection, South Carolina, about aligning home and school practices using the Supporting Your Child's Literacy Development at Home tutorial and facilitator's guide. You can find out more about supporting your child's literacy development at home in the Implementation Toolkit on the National Center on Improving Literacy's website, improvingliteracy.org. Watch another video in our Question and Answer series with Sally Baker from Family Connection, South Carolina.